Well, it's a new year, and that means there's new paddles to review. Sorry that this one is a little bit late, but the end of my 2024 was crazy, and right now I'm just trying to get caught back up. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the newly updated Chorus Shapeshifter. The original Shapeshifter, which released halfway through last year, grew in popularity for its unique design and performance. Matt, the owner of Chorus, has decided to update his lineup with some new shapes and make some modifications to his Shapeshifter line. But before we jump into that, Chorus did provide me with these paddles. No review as promised, no money exchanged hands, and all thoughts are my own. With that out of the way, let's jump into some specs. This paddle comes in 3 shapes. The EX, which is their elongated shape, the HX, which is their hybrid shape, replacing their previous model, and the SX shape, which is their standard shape. All 3 shapes come in 16 millimeters. I would classify the new Shapeshifters as control paddles. The handle length for all 3 of these models came in at 5.6 inches. The swing weight on the SX was 107, and the twist weight was 6.8. The swing weight on the HX was 112, and the twist weight was 6.3. And lastly, the swing weight on the EX was 115, and the twist weight was 6.07. All of these paddles' static weight came in around 7.8 ounces. The new Shapeshifter comes in 2 color options, a white edgeguard version and a black edgeguard version. I personally can't decide which one I like more, but most of my playtesting was done with the black edgeguard. The retail price of the new Shapeshifter is $174.99, but with code JJPB, that price does come down to $157.50. One update you can expect from the new Shapeshifter is they lean more towards control. As the original Shapeshifter was on the lower end of all court for power, this new revamped Shapeshifter is a much more control-oriented paddle. Also, compared to the original, we now have more shape options with an updated hybrid shape. All 3 of these options feature a flat top. I gravitated towards the EX model. This should not be a surprise, as I usually always use elongated paddles. Another change to the new models is that the balance point is slightly higher. Meaning, if you find yourself hitting the ball on the upper middle of the face on your paddle, then this paddle will feel great to you. The static and swing weights of these paddles also come in lower than their respective shapes compared to most other brands. This was done with the intent of giving the user more customization options. This allows the ability to add tungsten or lead tape anywhere on the paddle while still keeping the maneuverability of this paddle pretty high. Another key point is that the feel across all of these paddles is very plush. The top layer of these paddles is 18K carbon fiber, with the middle layer being T700 raw carbon fiber and the bottom layer being fiberglass. The idea is that this paddle gives great control and touch on softer shots and dinks, versus drives and serves where the ball gets more dwell time and it reaches that fiberglass layer. However, unlike the Vatic Pro Saga with a similar concept, I never felt this paddle getting that added benefit of the fiberglass layer. My putaways really suffered and my drives were easily returned. Now, as I mentioned, this is a control-oriented paddle, so that performance should be expected, but I was disappointed that I did not see the fiberglass layer give that same or similar performance to that of the Vatic Pro Saga, with it being positioned as the bottom layer. Pivoting back to control, drops and resets were a breeze with this paddle, and I never really worried about popping the ball up. And lastly, I was able to generate pretty good spin on my drives and serves. The newly updated Shapeshifter is a very solid paddle, and I really enjoyed my time with it. I played really well with this new Shapeshifter, especially in my soft game. But for me personally, I just needed a little bit more power for me to feel comfortable to take this to a tournament. But if you are in the market for a controlled paddle with a lower swing weight, I think that this is a great choice for you. If you are also someone who is constantly popping balls up while dinking or really struggle with drops, then I can't recommend this paddle enough. However, I would not recommend this paddle to someone who is a power-focused player or someone who likes a lot of pop out of their paddles. Also, if you are a fan of heavier paddles like many tennis players and you don't like having to add lead or tungsten, this is probably not the paddle for you. If you have played with a Chorus paddle in the past, I would love to hear how your experience was down in the comments. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop those down below as well. And lastly, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.